Phil. Welcome to Pretty Good Cooking.
Pretty good.
Tonight on the show, we're going to continue our annual tradition of providing you with updates on our garden. There's also a kitchen update. I replaced all the bulbs in the kitchen, so now it's very bright in here. And we're not even using supplemental light. Isn't that neat? So we're going to show you a tour of what we planted thus far. So this is week 8, I want to say, of quarantine lockdown during the COVID-19 pandemic. Gordon and I have had a lot of time to work on the garden. Unfortunately, I think a polar vortex is coming through tonight, and so we're gonna have to see of the plants we filmed today, which ones actually make it, if any of them. So come with me to the garden. The dogs are coming too. Oh boy, come on. So here in this area, this is the on-deck region. This is where Courtney keeps plants that don't have homes yet. There's lots of little seedlings. This is kind of a new thing for us this year. We have a little lettuce box, very dry. You can see there's lots of little sprouts here. Those are marigolds and the nasturtium. Through this spot, last year we called it the dog garden because we had tomatoes from the previous year that the dogs had consumed and then pooped out, which sprouted new tomatoes, but nothing's come up so far this year, so we'll just have the boxwoods and hydrangeas hopefully. Let's continue. We found a chill out spot. What are you guys doing? Some birds built some nests in our tall boxwood trees. There's actually a nest right here. There was a little robin family there, and then I don't know exactly what happened, but you can see that there's still eggshells from them being kicked out of the nest. Sad, I guess. Here we've got our chive plant, which is just starting to bud. And if you want to keep chives like continually rolling for culinary use, it's a good idea to trim them. But we're relaxed gardeners, so we just let it roll. But if you wanted to do that, you could just pick it off. These are lilies of various kinds. They haven't bloomed yet. Weird dog. Here in this section, we've got a couple of small plants coming up. So there's a serrano pepper.
Read the label.
Sugar rush. I'm sorry, sugar rush pepper.
They're both sugar rush peppers.
Those are
sugar
a pimento?
No, they're sugar rush cream pepper.
There's some weird hot peppers. I don't know what they are. And then these are lettuce, I think. Little lettuce sprouts. This is the dill section. All these little guys back here, those were direct sowed. We put the seeds directly in the ground. And this one was grown inside, so I had a little bit more time. Iggy, are you helping? No. This is our lovage plant. This comes back every year. The leaves taste a little bit like a spicy celery. I love this plant. Fun herb to add to soups and salads and stuff. This is going to be one of our main tomato sections. And this year we are really trying not to overcrowd things as much as we normally do. So we've got an old German and a Arkansas Traveler. That's a big old tomato. And then San Marzano, which is good for like sauces and pastes and stuff. It's like aroma. And then in front, we've got 2 peppers. We have a jalapeno and I think whatever this was.
Another jalapeno.
It's another jalapeno?
Yep.
It looks dead.
Yep.
Here, in this fenced-in area, this is the garlic bed. We're very excited for this. Last year was our first time growing garlic. It wasn't great. We had to restrain ourselves to save a lot of it so we could plant it and have even more garlic. And so I think we have a few different varieties in here. I don't really know what's what, but we definitely overcrowded this section. And by we, I mean me. I think I planted this. But you can see it's very dense there. But this is all hardneck garlic, so we planted it in the autumn, and it chills out literally over the winter, and then it comes up. One of the first things that comes up in the spring. So it's early May right now, so these are actually probably just maybe 2 months from being ready, and we'll know when some of the outer leaves, more of them turn kind of a brownish color and start falling back. So that'll be fun. And then also in here, this is an annual resident of the, I guess a perennial resident would be the better term. This section of the garden is our blueberries. And this is really cool and really, really pretty. In order to have blueberries, you have to have 2 plants. And so if you look here, we actually have one plant that starts here and another that starts here. And this plant has just been bashed and mangled by our dogs, but it's still surviving, and you can see it's just loaded with flowers that have been pollinated, and they're starting to form blueberries. So each one of these flowers will be a little blueberry, or a bloob, as I like to call them. So we might actually get a handful of berries this year, which is exciting. Usually blueberries take a couple of years before they really start making things. And of course, the bigger plant doesn't have anything on it. I think it's a male and female plant thing, but I could be wrong. This is the rose bush. Courtney said she was gonna trim it back and forgot, I think. Is that right? Yeah. Back here, this is a ground cherry plant. Ground cherry typically grows like a weed. That resembles more of a squash to me. So I'm very curious to see how that grows. The actual fruit itself, I guess it's a vegetable. I call it a cherry. Grows like a tomatillo, where there's a little pouch, and then inside is kind of a little sweet. So who knows? Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. This crazy thing is our blackberry vine, which we're trying to train to just run along the fence, but you can see that it kind of is fried out, a little crispy. I think that's from lack of water, but you can see that it's just bursting with buds. So if those get pollinated, we should get quite a few berries this year. But yeah, this thing is just totally crazy. So we got these buckets, these pots, so we're expanding our growing space. This is yellowneck squash, which is one of my favorite squashes. I just like to eat it boiled with salt, sliced and boiled, not whole. That would be weird. This is coconut thyme, which does it actually smell like coconut?
It's supposed to.
It's a really small thyme. I can't smell it. It just smells like regular thyme to me. Anyways, there's that little thyme there, and it'll grow out like a ground cover. I think that's it for that side. Over here, we expanded this out. Oh, and by the way, all these rocks we picked up last summer, I think, and we've been very slowly building out the border. Courtney doing the lion's share of that work. Look how nice it looks. All right, we extended this out because this guy keeps growing. We've lived here 3 years now. You know, the passage of time is different now. But this used to be a lot smaller. This section this year will be our cucumbers. So we've got 3 cucumbers. I believe that they're vines, and we haven't gotten around yet to it, but we're gonna try to build up some trellises and try to grow the cucumbers upwards. We always have that problem here. All of our growing spaces are really narrow. So if you have a vine, it really can only go like one direction. A lot of times we have them like come out into the yard, and it just doesn't work that well. So we're gonna try to go up. Hopefully it works. We have a bunch of pots here that we're growing Swiss chard in. It's easy to grow. Over here, this is our green bean box this year. You can see we've got some of the beans coming up. And by the way, we don't just grow green beans, but we grow different variations on a green bean. So also growing purple beans this year, but if I told you purple beans, you'd be like, well, what's that? For this section, these are just gonna be like normal bush beans. And the other half of the box, they're really good climbers. So we're gonna string up on these poles and see if we can just get it to go be like a wall of purple beans, which I think would be fun. This other box really doesn't get a whole lot of light, so we're growing lettuce on one side. There's a perennial herb, bee balm, and then this is our rhubarb, which is just absolutely crazy this year. Looks like an alien plant. But yeah, once the stems get above 10 inches, we'll be trying to harvest some of that. I think these are wild onions that we transplanted.
It's wild garlic.
So that we put in there last year, and it came right back up. Got a couple peonies. They're doing better this year than some other years. And we've got hostas that are supposed to be very large. They have not become large yet. Hopefully they get busy. In this spot we grow peas. These are all pea sprouts that climb up on the fence. They have nice peas all the time. We love them. They're great. This is another squash bucket. This one's a butternut squash, which we've never grown before. So see how that goes. I don't really know. But we're trying to utilize some of the spaces that nothing really grows. So this is the Hillary's mint, which is
Hillary's lemon mint.
Hillary's lemon mint, which is apparently propagated from Hillary Clinton's garden. I don't really have anything to say about Hillary Clinton, but I will say that Courtney was the one that picked this plant out. And then over here we've got our long box. Peppers over here, peppers over there. They're labeled. There's 2 daddles at least.
There's
right?
1 right now.
So over here is an ahi pineapple pepper plant. Directly next to it is cilantro. We've got a little bit more of it down here. In the middle we have 2 tomato plants. We've got an Abe Lincoln and a Marglobe, both pretty large tomatoes. And then these guys are Pimenta Puma. We transplanted some irises over here. You can see we've got 1 bud. Looks nice. The rest of the beds are largely ornamental type stuff. We've got a hosta, some other kind of mint, orange mint. I don't know what a lot of this stuff is.
Well, here's a viola. And this is a bush. Those broad leafy greens are lily of the valley. That's a toad lily.
And back here, you've got mint growing all over the place. And this mint is just crazy. Like, it'll go everywhere. It comes back every single year. And then we've got some tropical cannas that come back every year, and you can see that they're just starting to shoot up right here and right here. Those are nice. They're a really big, tall, colorful flower. Banana tree looking thing. Pretty epic. Cat mint. Try to hook up all our friends with all the cat mint that their cats can consume. This is an ornamental onion. This is oregano, nice oregano. And that's valerian that we planted last year, and I don't think we did anything with it. And I guess that's it. So that's our garden. Hopefully we can keep most of it alive tonight because it's supposed to freeze, really late freeze, which sucks. But yeah, we'll definitely be doing more of these videos. Hope you enjoyed the tour. I'm most excited for approximately 90 heads of garlic this year. So yeah, that's how you do it. Our garden. I'll see you next time.